Welcome back to another review. I've got a USB card reader in for testing today, and this was sent in via V.Top. Pretty simple product, so we'll keep this quite short. As far as the USB, this is for the USB 3, and it also supports UHS-II, that's ultra high speed 2 SD cards. Sizes are on the screen for this, and all we have is a blue LED on the side of the case. Plastics are quite thick on this. It does feel fairly well made. The only complaint that I would have is that the cap is quite easy to remove. I'd imagine that would get lost, but that's the case for a lot of these devices. There's your USB 3 plug. You can use this in USB 2. Obviously you will have slower transfer speeds. There's your slot for the SD card. Just a normal SD, so you'll need to use an adapter for the micro, and make sure you put it in contacts up on this, and there's a click mechanism so it holds it in place. You will have to give it a bit of a tug to remove it. Just show you on screen the difference between the Type 1 and the Type 2 cards. The Type 1 cards are around about 100 megabytes a second maximum, usually a bit lower than that, and the Type 2 go up to 300 megabytes a second. For the speed test, I'm going to use a Lexar card because that's a Type 2 and it's quoted to around about 300 megabytes a second. In reality, you get a bit less than that. So this is what I got off the Kingston card reader that I have, that I bought myself a couple of years ago. Fairly decent speeds. Move on to the V.Top card reader. There's the blue light that flashes when you're accessing data, and the benchmarks on this were actually slightly faster than the Kingston, which was a bit of a surprise. You never quite get the 300 megabytes a second, different chipsets with the USB 3, but that is a good result. You can also transfer files from tablets and phones with the on-the-go function. Just plug it into the device and then you can put it over onto the SD card. They sent me this leaflet through. They do some other products such as capture cards and USB 3 cards. I've only really looked at their memory card readers, but perhaps later on might get a chance to try some of those. Decent speeds overall on this card reader. It's about mid-price. The cheaper ones tend to be the Type 1 readers, and I've seen more expensive Type 2 ones, but this one does a decent job overall.